Peace World, welcome back to Foundation Radio. I am here with the woman who is going to beat Ronda Rousey in the MMA Rules fighting match, Shayna Baszler. How are you today?
I'm doing okay.
All right. Good, that's a good thing. Now, I know it's been a long time coming between you and Ronda. There's a lot of pent-up frustration. What is a win going to mean for you against Ronda Rousey?
I mean, Ronda Rousey is one of the greatest fighters, male or female, to ever live, right? So I beat Ronda in a fight. That's a whole different trajectory for me in my career. I think everybody's heads have to turn my way. I think if you didn't know who I was, you know who I am now. I look at it as like a new beginning for me. So,
I mean, and you put in a lot of time here in WWE, and I've watched your career, and you're one of the most dangerous women in the company right now. Is it safe to say that Ronda should be afraid of you going into this match versus the other way around?
I have a lot going for me into this match. MMA rules. We don't exactly know what those rules are, but Ronda's used to one set of MMA rules, unified rule set. I come from a time where MMA rules meant I show up at the event and we decide, like, hey, man, you want elbows? No? Okay, cool. You want soccer kicks to the head? Yeah, good. Awesome. Leg locks? Cool. And we decided the rules then. So I think us knowing it's MMA rules but not knowing exactly what those rules are benefits me. She might think, MMA, it benefits her. I think I know, like I said, and this is true, I was her sparring partner in every single fight camp of hers. She was not my sparring partner in my fight camps. So I think I know her. I know the bottoms of her skill set more than she knows mine. I think she will underestimate me.
Is it frustrating to feel as though you've been boxed in under her shadow for so long? Does that has to get to a frustrating point at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, I intentionally left MMA to do pro wrestling and worked here. I sent emails and tape and got a tryout and went to Japan and lived and trained and I did all that without her. And I did all my NXT run that everyone loves so much without her. And so it's frustrating to hear things like, the only people watch you because you're friends with Ronda. You wouldn't be signed if it wasn't for the only reason you're there is because of Ronda. Like, I'm here because of me. And that's kind of what it came down to was, no one's going to beat us for a while. And I knew that. And it was just like, am I going to be the sidekick for a good chunk of the rest of my career, or am I ready to step out?
I want to pivot real fast because I know we have a limited amount of time, but I understand that you were an EMT. I was a firefighter for a long time. Did you have any crazy calls that you can talk about? Anything wild in your EMT career that you want to discuss? Because I know it's like when you're in that field, it gets wild.
Yeah, so I was only an EMT for like 3 months because I was actually trying to get on the fire department.
Oh, okay.
And so you have to be an EMT to get on fire, or at least certified. And then I decided, I went through the whole firefighter thing, and then I was like, all right, one more chance at this MMA thing, because they had the Ultimate Fighter. Like, I knew I could do this, so I can come back to it, and just went in a different direction. But, so actually in the ER, one of the craziest things I saw was I'm from South Dakota, and there was a rodeo, and they brought in a cowboy, and he got trampled by a bull. And we had to work on him. And as an EMT, I don't do a lot. It's just my job to keep people alive long enough to get them to the real people that can really do the work.
Yep.
But it was, I just remember it was the first time this guy, no matter how we moved him, he was in pain. I mean, obviously his ribs are broke and he's trampled by a bull. And trying to get him to a position to where he could lay down for the x-ray machine, and that was probably the craziest thing. It was a lot of like, yes, ma'am, please take some NyQuil and go home, that type of stuff.
I smell carbon monoxide calls.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff, but there was, I think my craziest stuff, honestly, was not on the ambulance. It was when I did my ER shifts.
That's crazy. I can't say anything like that, but I understand that sentiment where it's like, I'm just here to cut you out of the car. They're going to take care of you, and then we'll get you to the hospital.
Here's some oxygen, stay alive.
Please
we'll
don't.
Get you there, yeah.
Please don't die. I can't handle this right now.
Yeah.
So I overheard you talk about Dragon Ball Z. I know you're you're big into video games as well. My oldest son is he's started transitioning from Pokemon into Dragon Ball Z. As a dad, where can I start? Where do I start if I really want to learn?
Man.
I'm struggling. I want to be with him.
Loaded question. I think like what got me into it, so I guess I'm just gonna say it, and it's older, but the Frieza saga is a good place to start, and then kind of just go from there. It's Dragon Ball Z is so vast, right? So there's different branches you can go off depending on what he likes, but that's what got me into it. So
That's awesome. So the Frieza series, you call it?
Frieza saga, yeah,
Frieza
the
saga.
whole thing with Frieza, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, Shayna Baszler. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks.
New episodes of Foundation Radio every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, and anywhere else you get your favorite podcasts.